You know what you should be doing, you are ready to do it, but you just need a little extra push. Maybe you are not sure where to start, maybe you're not sure what to tackle next, or you just need a little bit of extra motivation to get you moving. We are going to solve all of those problems in this video. Let's go! Hi guys, it's Laura, and if you are like me, then you probably have a few things on your to-do list that are older than your kids. Things that you want to do, but you just can't seem to make any progress on. Now, I'm going to assume up front that you do actually want to do those things, that they're not just, like busy work or in an ideal world goals, but that they are actual, like here and now priorities that you want to kickstart today. But if you would like me to make a video on how to prioritize or how to discover what your priorities are, then definitely let me know in the comments. I would be happy to make that. But let's just say for now that you have already whittled down your list to your most important goal and you just can't seem to get going on it. Step one, the biggest stumbling block for me, is actually getting started or knowing where to start. So you've got this goal, you've got this vision, and you just have no idea, you cannot figure out how to get it off the starting block. So here is the question that you need to ask yourself. What do I need to do before I can start this thing? Like, what is the pre-step? What do you need to have in place? What is the information that you need? What are the tools that you need? You need to think of your goals kind of like, recipes. That's probably a terrible example, given that I cannot cook to save my life. But let's just roll with it. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot get started on anything until you already have all of the ingredients, till you have like the pots and the pans and gadgets and gizmos, all that sort of stuff. If you can't get started on a goal, I can almost guarantee that this is the problem. You are missing a piece of the puzzle. You have something on your list that seems very simple and specific and straightforward, something like, bake a cake, but you haven't factored in all the things that you need, all of the tools and the ingredients and, the skills and things that are going to be required to actually complete that task. So what do you need to do or gather or research first? Honestly, I have left things as simple as, call X person on my list for ages just because I didn't know that person's number. Also, I hate talking on the phone, but that's another issue. Again, it might seem like a very simple step, but it likely involves more than one part. Like, your step one is actually probably more like step 10. So you need to figure out all of the steps in between. And listen, if you are really not sure, like no clue where to start, then Google it. Honestly, I'm being serious. Like, there is nothing that you cannot find on the internet. Some things you don't even want to find. But like, if there's something you want to know, somebody has been there, done that, and blogged about it. Okay, so here is another problem that you might encounter, and that is not knowing what step one is. You might know what lots of different steps might be, but you don't know which one comes first. Perfectionism. I empathize. The issue here is usually that you think that there should be one step one. That there is only one way to start, that things have to be done in a very specific step-by-step order. You need to let that go. Yes, there are cases where things do have to be done like that, in a step-by-step order, like aforementioned baking a cake, probably. But if you can, think of lots of different types of steps and you're all, oh, if I do this one first, it will really help me out with this thing. But if I do this one first, then that is going to give me, so much more of this thing, and, on and on. If you are stuck in that endless loop of things, trying to figure out what is the best or the correct way to start, then chances are there isn't one. There probably is no best. You just have to pick a starting point, any starting point, and away you go. Because chances are you are only going to learn like on the job. You're only going to figure things out as you go. You may need to make like a little bit of progress on this step and then stop and switch to this step and then, you know, like switch back or switch over to this one, like whatever. But you need to be doing. You may need to, you know, work on different steps, little bits of different steps at different times. And the exact same is true if you are halfway through a project and you hit a stumbling block, like you stall and you don't know what to do next. First, go back to our question and ask yourself, what do I need to do before I can start this thing? Do I have my ingredients? Do I have all my tools? Am I trying to leap from here to there without taking all of the little steps in between? I don't know what I'm doing. Chop, chop, chop. Or are you staring at multiple possible next steps? Remember, like we said, not everything is linear. Just, you know, roll a dice or close your eyes, you know, point your finger somewhere on your to-do list, or, I don't know, pick a task out of a hat, whatever you need to do. Just as a very quick side note before we move on, if you are really struggling with decision making, maybe you are just like paralyzed by different options, or maybe you fear that you will regret a decision that you make, I have 2 great videos that are going to help you get over that. I will link them for you, but I share how I get myself unstuck when I'm faced with a decision and I just have no idea what to do. Anyway, back to it. You have got everything you need, you have decided on your next step, and you still cannot get your arse in gear. You cannot make that leap from inaction to action. First of all, you need to go and watch last week's video about beating procrastination. But let's look at some practical ways that you can build up a bit of momentum. The last one is probably a little bit controversial, but stick with me. Okay, the first is to settle on the like teeny tiniest action. I am talking about picking a step that is so small that you basically can't not do it. You are essentially going to shame yourself into doing it. So maybe you want to go work out, but ugh. I feel that on a deeply personal, emotional level. You want to work out, you know, you should be working out, but the distance between you and the front door just seems infinite. So what would be a small step in between you on the couch and you pounding the pavement? Something that you might think of is, you know, putting on your workout clothes, and you think, that's what I can do, but somehow you still can't make yourself get up and do it. Okay, right, that's fine. How about just tying back your hair? Like, that's it, just scrape it back and stick a bob in it. Okay, great. Now, just choose what workout clothes and shoes you'll wear. What headphones will you use? What music will you listen to? What app will you use to track your walk or your run? What will you have as your post-workout snack? Food always seems to motivate me. But all you have to do is just decide in your head on these things. You know, anyone can do those steps and make those micro decisions, and they might seem really small, like they are really small. They might seem completely insignificant, but they are still tiny steps towards your goal. It's the momentum that you want, no matter how slow it is in the beginning, because that is what will eventually pick up steam, start to snowball. Next is the thing that has probably had the biggest impact on my life when it comes to getting things done. If you've been around here for a while, you've heard me talk about this before, but that is using timers. One of the biggest stumbling blocks that you will face is that you will put off a task because it seems like it will take too much time and effort. And another is that you will get distracted. Timers solve both of those problems. They give you a very definitive end point, and they get you into that kind of like, gotta get it done, race against the clock mentality. They will keep you focused, because when you start on a task and you have no idea like where or when it will end, it will be so much easier for you to get like distracted, to feel discouraged and defeated. You will start to drag your feet. You might not even notice it, but when you have no idea when your next break is, your brain will try to create breaks for you. But when you know how long you will be working on something, like exactly how long it's going to take or how long you're going to be doing it for, and you know exactly when your next break is going to be, your brain can stop worrying about all of that and it can just put all of its energy into the task in front of it. And if you are really struggling, then go back to the previous tip and just set a timer for a really short amount of time, like 2 minutes, because honestly, I don't care how much you dread or hate a task. Anyone can suck it up and get it done for 2 minutes. All you are looking for is to build up any sort of momentum. Okay, the controversial one. So this is for those times when you have already built up a bit of motivation, a bit of momentum, although not necessarily, doing the thing that you want to do. Maybe you've built it up by doing something else. But if you are up and you are moving, don't sit down unless you are physically tired and in need of a break, and not just mentally tired. Like, there is definitely a difference between the two of them. But if your body still has some gas in the tank, then stay upright, because we all know this. Like, as soon as you sit or slouch or lie down, you have broken your momentum. You are sending your body a signal that it is time to switch off. When it comes to motivation, it is so much harder to go from 0 to 1 than it is to go from 1 to 2. Like, it is so much harder to start moving than it is to just keep moving. You know that whole thing, like, without an outside force, things at rest will stay at rest, and things in motion will stay in motion. Listen, if you need a break, take it. I am not telling you to just work until you fall down. I'm just saying, don't sit down until you need to. If you get up to do anything, like even if it's just to use the bathroom, then don't just go and sit back down afterwards. Like, keep that momentum going. Go and empty the dishwasher, or sweep the floors, or whatever. Like, you're already up, so you may as well keep going. Be an object that stays in motion. And then when you are at rest, properly rest. Like, don't just be getting up and down all the time. If you want to dive into this a little bit more, then I have shared the habits that have had the biggest impact on my productivity levels. And yes, it includes timers, but also there are several other things in there. So make sure that you go and check out that video, and subscribe here for more videos on streamlining and simplifying your busy life. Go raibh míle maith agaibh, agus feici mé sibh le lua. Slán!